Shalane Chaco. I am 25 years old. I was a 2012 figure competitor, and I'm from Guam. I've grown up here. My hometown is Tumuning. I currently reside in Dededo. Well, initially, when I got started, it was actually thanks to my best friend Anthony Peely, who actually has competed in 2011 and 12. He was the one who actually got me started in going to the gym. He got me a gym membership, and he was the one who started my training, and he was the one who was really encouraging me to compete in the next year's show for 2012. I actually met Anthony through my brother and my cousin, who have actually been competing since 2009 till now. Anthony actually started training me. He started introducing me with most workouts and telling me how it is on stage. Although it's kind of ironic because my brother and my cousin, they were around, but they weren't really the ones teaching me or really influencing me. But I guess I was mostly influenced by the men in my life because my dad's also an athlete. Well, he's been working out for a long time. Anthony was the one who got me started, but the one who really taught me everything that I know now is my boyfriend Tatum. He was the one who really taught me most of what I know now, and he's been there for me like pretty much throughout nearly every single day since I started out at the gym. Actually, I started training by myself back in September of 2011, and that's where I met. That's actually where I met Ruben Diaz. I met Brandon Quijado. That's where I also met. I met most of the athletes. I met Rich. I met Dan, and I also met Tony through the gym by going at the time that I was going, which was at 4 a.m. That's where I got most of my influence, especially to compete. Sometimes bringing it up to people, they kind of didn't really take me seriously. A lot of them thought it was just like a phase where it's just something I wanted to do, but not something I would really pursue. So that actually got me to continue what I was doing. I mainly wanted to prove everybody wrong, and it's something I really wanted to accomplish for myself because doing it on my own, like dieting and training, I was trying to practice like January 2011. Just to get myself prepared for what I would have to be doing months prior to the actual show for 2012. I've always admired Desiree Ie and Letitia Shimizu. When I saw them compete from 2009 and every year after that, seeing Desiree and then seeing Letitia in 2011, I really admired how they looked on stage. At first it was just about me trying to eat right and get into shape, but I knew that I could just go easy on myself by doing that. I had to stick to what I was doing. I had to be all in. If I agreed to go to the show, I knew that it wasn't something I wanted to back out of. I know there's so many people who say they want to do the show, but once they see the reality of it and they see what they have to do, they kind of back out and they kind of don't want to do it. But I knew what I was going to get myself into, which is why I practiced months before I actually had to start the dieting. If I agreed to go to the show, I knew that it wasn't something I wanted to back out of. I know there's so many people who say they want to do the show, but once they see the reality of it and they see what they have to do, they kind of back out and they kind of don't want to do it. But I knew what I was going to get myself into, which is why I practiced months before I actually had to start the dieting. I bought my first 2 bikinis for the show, and I was never even in a 2-piece before. So this is really a lot of pressure that I put on myself that I knew I had to commit to. My favorite part of the show was actually being up on stage and being in front of everybody, which is funny because I'm not the type of person to be able to be up in front of other people, especially a big crowd of people, and being less dressed than I was on stage. I think I was more nervous practicing for the show than actually being at the show, because I really wanted to do it, and I was so excited to be on stage every single time. And all the practicing I had done with my posing and just going with the flow, it was something really enjoyable. My preparation for the show, I was really excited. I was really looking forward to it, and I really couldn't wait to start the diet that I was getting from Steve. So from day one, I followed everything correctly. I made sure I prepped all my meals. I went to the gym on time most of the week. It was fun for me. I mean, I loved what I was eating. I enjoyed what I was eating, and every time I saw more results, it just made me want to keep going. One thing, well, that was with the dieting, the training. The training, my boyfriend was there with me almost every step of the way. He helped me train. He helped me push myself further to get better results. He was pretty much my backbone throughout the whole thing, and he was the one who really went through most of the negative sides of the dieting. My posing actually was thanks to Desiree EA Rio. She was the one who really helped me. Every week we practiced my walk and practiced my posing, and she really helped me to prepare for being on stage. So I probably wouldn't have had as much fun being up there if it wasn't for her. My diet during the show was pretty much the same. It was pretty much chicken tenders, broccoli, brown rice, of course spaced out every 3 hours, about 7 meals a day. After the show, off season, it's pretty much the same. Like once you stick with a routine for so long, it's kind of hard to break out of it. And once you kind of do, it kind of feels wrong. So even up to now, like even though once in a while I'll eat bad, but when I do, like I really feel bad about it. So you kind of want to stick to your regular routine. So even now, off season, I'm still eating more now. I mean, I'm using other sources of protein aside from chicken, just to get my body used to other sources. But pretty much for the most part, I'm still pretty much eating clean. Like 6 days out of the week, I'm still eating every 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and I'm pretty much just waiting for time to pass before I start my diet again for this year's show. But so I'm pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much similar, but just changing up what I'm eating. I was training with men when I first started out. Anthony Peely, my boyfriend, my father. So I was kind of training like a bodybuilder because everything I learned from them. So during the show, I didn't realize that at the time, but so my training now is pretty much different than before because I still concentrate. Every day I pretty much concentrate on one body part a day. Most of the time I'll superset though. I actually prefer that over just doing one type of workout for every set. But as far as the way I'm training, most of it is supersetting. But sometimes I'll combine a part, like I'll combine like shoulders or triceps, or I'll combine my shoulders with my biceps, depending on how I'm feeling or what kind of routine I'm sticking to. Because I'll try and change it up just so that my body experiences something different and has that shock every time I work out. Right now, since it's off season, I'm pretty much concentrating on getting my legs a little bit bigger. So I'm focusing on heavier weights with less reps, which is what I would usually do when I want to build up my muscle. As it gets closer to the show was when I would start doing a little bit more reps with lighter weights, especially during the last week before the show. It was mainly all about just getting my striations in there and just keeping my muscle base. My cardio days, during the time of the show, I did cardio pretty much 5 to 6 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes either on the treadmill or on the Stairmaster. Nowadays, I don't do cardio as much. Maybe I'll do like cardio maybe 3-4 times a week, using the same treadmill or the Stairmaster. But for the most part, I don't do as much cardio just so I can gain more muscle from what I lost before the show. Actually, before the show, I didn't have that mindset where you think about, oh, I have to give this up, I have to give that up. I already knew what I was getting myself into, so I knew I couldn't really miss the foods that I wasn't going to be eating for the next 4.5 months. The thing is that I have a really, really bad sweet tooth. Nothing is too sweet for me. So I think that was probably the hard part, was knowing that I couldn't really have that same sugar rush that I used to have, but it didn't really bother me as much as it would bother most people, because I knew what I had to do, I knew what I had to give up, and I wasn't gonna let it dawn on me or dwell. I wasn't gonna dwell on it like before the show. I pretty much I enjoyed what I could. So throughout my diet, whatever I could eat, I enjoyed all of it, and I took advantage of it pretty much. Like the sweet sources that I could have during my diet, I really indulged in. So I had like a piece of fruit, you know, after my workout, and that piece of fruit I really enjoyed that piece of fruit. Or there were times where I had, you know, oatmeal with Splenda, which was a really sweet treat for me. So it was kind of like, it wasn't about giving up things, it was more about enjoying what I could have. The first thing I ate, I was actually kind of scared to eat bad again. I was just so stuck in my mindset of eating good that at first I wasn't really looking forward to cheating or eating anything bad right after the show. But afterwards, right after the show was over, I was mostly thirsty. So the first thing I had was lemonade, which was a mistake because it gave me a really, really bad stomachache the next day. But that was the first bad thing I had. After the day after the show, I actually didn't eat bad yet. Aside from the lemonade, I still ate wheat bread and whole wheat waffles and bananas. I was still eating clean the day after. It took me a couple days before I could eat bad again. But once I started eating bad, I went through a couple of weeks where I kind of couldn't stop, only because my body could take in more than I could before. Like most times I ate more than my boyfriend could eat. So that was for a few weeks. But after that, I kind of phased out of it, and I went back to my normal routine. Actually, before and even now, people are actually really surprised that I lift weights and that I've competed. Most people who know me, they know that I'm not really that kind of person to get into that, and most people I know aren't really into that sort of thing. So when they hear that I do it, they really freak out and they're really surprised, like, what, you lift weights and all this other stuff. And even when I tell them that I've been on stage, they're really surprised, but at the same time, they're actually really happy for me. Most of the people who thought that I wouldn't do it, or they thought, you know, I was gonna end up as some really bulky person, they actually saw how I really looked on stage, and they're really, they were inspired by it. Aside from that, I guess the biggest thing would be, they would be surprised at how much I can eat, because I can really eat like a man, or even more, because there were a lot of times where I ate way more than my boyfriend could eat in one sitting. So I guess that would be the biggest surprise. I just love being there. I start off my day being ready for the gym. Like I get up at 2:30 in the morning, and then I get ready for the gym, take my meal, and then I go to the gym by 4. And I really love being there. I love just knowing that I'm gonna get better results, knowing that I'm gonna get stronger, and I'm gonna, you know, like be healthier than I was the day before. So it's pretty much I just love being there. So there's something really that keeps me there. It's just the fact that I love being there, and I know the benefits of me being in there and doing what I'm doing. Prior to the show, what I loved doing the most was nothing. Like I would literally stay in bed for hours, just lying down, relaxing, just being on my phone. But after the show, I don't really stay in as much anymore. I really enjoy eating out with my friends or spending time with my boyfriend. Pretty much just doing what almost everybody does. But I guess during the show, the best part about my day was just when I just went home and did nothing. That was pretty much my hobby before the show. Well, I think the most common thing that most people ask is when I lift weights. I mean, when people lift weights, some girls, most of the girls, they think that they're gonna get super bulky by lifting weights. So most of them will ask, like, "Oh, won't you get bulky and really big if you lift weights?" And they just don't understand that's not how it works. That it's pretty common, but even up till now, I still think of that as absurd. Only because there's really no way that could happen unless you're taking steroids or something. I would say my biggest pet peeve is when people ask, they ask, you know, how can I lose weight? What can I do to get better results? And when I tell them what they should do or what I do, they automatically say, oh, I can't do that, or oh, that's too hard, and then they automatically just don't want to try. I mean, you never really know what you're capable of unless you truly try. So pretty much, you know, it's like, you know, you tell somebody, like most people think that they'll lose weight by eating less or eating nothing. But once, you know, when I tell them that I eat every 3 hours, they automatically think, oh, if I eat every 3 hours, I'm gonna gain a lot of weight or I'm gonna get fatter. But you know, I keep telling them I eat every 3 hours and I haven't gotten any fatter than you know than they think. It's pretty much a pointless type of thing to ask if you're not gonna be willing to try it out and pursue something like that for yourself. My favorite cheat, well, it's pretty much sweets. I love sweets. So I really love pastries. I love muffins, donuts, cake, and I mean I love ice cream too. But pretty much anything sweet. I can't have enough of that. My favorite body part to train would mainly be back and legs, only because those are the really major parts of the body. And I would say, oh, I have more fun with that only because I superset a lot with that. Well, I feel like those are like my strongest, like where I can lift the most with those body parts. It was a long time ago, but it went something like, oh, I lost my phone number, can I get yours, or can I borrow yours, or something like that. What was it? Honestly, you really need to know how badly you want it and how far you're willing to go to get there. It's not just something you say, oh yeah, I want to do it. You have to really know that you want to do it, and that's what I did. I mean, I took some time to think about it before I actually started saying to somebody else that yes, I want to do the show. You know, like I had to know what I would be doing, what I would be sacrificing, and if I was willing to sacrifice it. So, I mean, if it's something that you want to pursue, you just have to really know how badly you want it and know that you're not going to give up when times get hard, because times will get hard, it will get difficult. And there are times where you might feel like you want to give up, but you need to know that you won't think that, because during the show, not once did I think, oh, I can't do this anymore, or like, why am I doing this? Like, it was something I really wanted. So before I even told anybody that I was gonna do the show, I knew it was something that I was gonna do. Like, I didn't want to say one thing and then go back on what I said. So it's pretty much it. I would say it's really something to think about, because it's not easy, and it's definitely something that's going to take time and patience. And the biggest regret anyone would have by taking that journey to do the show is not doing the show at all. And I know for me that would have been the biggest mistake, would be to back out on something that I really put so much time in and effort in. I still want to compete. I really love being on stage, so it's definitely something I want to keep doing. But one of the main goals for myself would be to just get better. I mean, there's always something that you're going to have to work on. No one can be truly perfect every time they step on stage. So, I mean, everything that I could do better, I want to do better. So pretty much my goals now are getting my body to where it should be, to be the best on stage. Actually, there's a lot of people that I can thank. Well, number one is my dad. My dad's really helped me, and he's always been there for me throughout the years. And he's like, I'll always say that he's the number one man in my life. So my dad is definitely the biggest person that I can thank. Also, my boyfriend. I mean, he's been there with me through the hardest times, especially through like my worst moments and my best moments. So him being there and being patient really meant a lot to me. I always thank my best friend Anthony Peely. Well, also I'd really like to thank Steve Oshiro and Desiree Real, because if it wasn't for those two, I know I wouldn't have had the results that I did, and I wouldn't have done as well on stage as I thought I would do. Can you cut that part out, or have to redo it again? Yeah.
Do it again.
Oh, do the whole part again? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, my tongue is getting tired. Oh, you think I'm young? Well, people still think I don't know, I guess because younger people say that I'm old. Devin says I'm old.